this must be the shortest canal we've ever been on, about 95 yards.
It is about 95 yards, but it's not an entire canal.
No, we're not. We're on the A38 in the middle of a roundabout.
In the middle of the Whitminster roundabout, as you said, on the A38, which runs to Gloucester that way and Berkeley, I think, that way. So this section, this little dinky section of canal, is going to be part of the Stroudwater Navigation Canal when the Cotswold Canal Trust finish their restorations. They've been running for quite some time. I think it was 1975 that they began, so quite a lot of years, lottery funding and lots of other local funding as well. The Stroudwater Canal ran from Framilode, where it joined the River Severn, crossed at Saul Junction, where we videoed a few weeks back, came through Whitminster Lock, which is about a mile that way, we did that too, and then it goes all the way on through Stroud and then to Brimpscombe, where it joins, or turned into, the Thames Severn Canal, which ran onto Lechlade-on-Thames and then to London. And this was the route to carry cargoes of all kinds from Gloucester right the way through to London. Took about 5 days. So, why did they put it in the middle of a roundabout?
Don't know.
When the highway, says it here, look.
It does, just there.
When Highways England,
Yeah.
with designated funds and delivery in partnership, National Highways involved, decided they were going to build this part of the A38 and the roundabout, they decided then, or at least in cahoots with the Cotswold Canal Trust, to do this bit now. And even if this stands empty for decades, it's here, and later would save tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds to take the canal beneath the A38. So it's little more than good for a home for ducks and fish, and there's a life ring over there, and I don't think much else occurs here. It's kind of modern, it's a bit stark.
Very modern.
But hopefully when they finish the canal, sometime ahead, and we're still about, you and I'll take a boat along it. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I would love that.
Me too.
We put the drone up so that you can see the view looking back towards Saul Junction. Look at the pillbox from the Second World War. This was one of a great many along the stop line, which was here to defend this part of the country. So, I think when you look at where the Stroud Navigation was in relation to the River Severn, you can understand why there are lots of these. We saw one of these at Saul Junction. This one's a bit bigger. This one has gun ports on 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and an entryway the other side. The roof is 1.5 foot thick of concrete. When you look at the gun ports, they're a staggered entrance, which makes it really hard for somebody to shoot in, but gives a good arc of fire for somebody shooting out. And if the Jerrys ever had managed to get ashore in England, rivers like the Thames and canals like the Stroudwater and the Thames Severn Canal were barriers for them to get across. They would have been heavily fortified to make the job even harder. Thank goodness for the RAF and our Army and our Navy, who put a stop to all of that. All that's left of the canal here is a big boggy reed bed. Going west of Pike Lock and Pike Bridge, the canal is in a really rough state of repair. And this is one of the few parts with a bit of water in it, and this is only because of the overspill of water from above Pike Lock and the culvert that feeds into it here. Going east from Pike Lock, it looks like the Stroudwater Canal is full of water and usable. Now we're going to go find that out. Hopefully, in the not too distant future, the canal going west of here, Pike Lock, will become navigable. It really does look like it's usable going east and up there. So we're going to go and have a little look at that. There's lots to go and see. This is the first lock that is actually usable on the Stroudwater Navigation, on the restored section. And the first properly operational lock is called Blunder Lock. Just look at that brand new, crisp and barely used sluice winding gear. It's not even been greased up because nobody uses it yet. one day soon this canal will open, and once they connect it to Saul Junction, it's then back on the network and everybody can come and enjoy it. Just in case anybody thinks about it, it's all padlocked up, both sides.
I can't even move it.
Well, I'll put you back into it.
No, I can't move this
Go
time.
on, put you back into it. I'll give you a hand.
Yeah, I said I can't move this. This
You're
is
only
quite,
little, aren't you?
This is
It's
quite.
not going to open it a long way. It is some weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Here we are.
Just to
Oh,
show,
now I can do
just
it.
to show that it's operational. There is a little notice over there that says keep it closed. So we're only doing this and then we'll shut it again. So we shut it now?
Yeah.
Come on and turn around, put your back onto it. No, don't push with your arm. You know how to do a canal lock. There you go.
And they've got these little steps that you can actually put your feet on.
Well, they're
that takes-
commonplace, aren't they? They're just
Yeah.
been nicely restored.
Here we are. Yeah. Hey Simon, look at this, what I found. I'm going to start it again.
A long, long time and a very long time. A long time ago.
This is part of an old lock gate, isn't it?
Is that the siren?
I think this is
there'll be a wreck.
It's the water,
They
isn't
don't
it?
come round here.
Well, if we can just get through the lock.
How many more have we got?
This is the fourth one. Just one more after this.
There, in the sky.
What?
I think that's a German plane.
So Blunderlock
Flying
is
over
the
the
fourth
canal.
lock in.
There's nothing to bomb around here.
They follow the line of the canal, someone told me.
Like bats.
What?
Bats follow the line of the canal.
Do they?
Yes.
There is something to bomb around here.
What?
That's Berry's factory at Barnes Mill. They make instruments. What was that word that bloke Cyril told me? Gyroscopes.
Gyroscopes?
Something to do with planes.
Yeah,
Oh.
aircraft.
That's why they have the gun turret.
We better get through the lock.
You doing the gates then?
It's your turn.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Okay.
Karen always does the locks, don't you?
But I like it.
She won't steer the boat.
Get down. That's a... You all right?
I think so. Not so sure about the lock gates, though.
Look at what the bomb has done. All the splintered wood. Good job you weren't closing them. We ought to get the ARP to see what they can do about the damage.
We're really
I guess
lucky to
there'll be
live when we
someone
do
at
today,
Sperry's
not
can
back
help.
then, aren't we?
Come on.
Yeah.
That would have been absolutely horrendous.
But this is quite a good story. It's
Why is it
amazing.
called Blunderlock anyway?
No one really knows. It's thought that the man who
I've
built
learned some
it
history
didn't
today
get the
because I didn't know
level
they
right.
used this in the wartime.
Minutes from the proceedings of the Committee of Directors for the Stroudwater Navigation, 26th of March, 1778. Mr. Fruin recommends the regulating of the locks between Stonehouse and Eastington in the following manner. The lock at Eastington to rise only 11 feet,
If any of that
the
occurred
lock
here,
in
we'd be so
Nassfield
surprised.
8 feet, and a lock be built
Look it up.
between these two
History.
to
I
rise
like
the
history.
remainder, which will be about 7 feet 2 inches.
This bridge does not have a towpath. So the horse would have had to disconnect this side and go up and over and reconnect the other side. So when a disconnected from horse boat came through, horse would have come over this side of the bridge, down we go. I don't think this tree was here. I think it's a sycamore, not entirely sure. But when you think back, the last use of this canal was mid-50s, the last proper use was mid-40s, and the last single journey from Saul Junction all the way to Lechlade-on-Thames, so we're all the way down the Thames Severn Canal, I think was 1926. I don't think that tree was here then, because it would have been extraordinarily difficult threading ropes around, getting around, and then horse pulling on. I just don't think it was there. It's grown up in the last 70 plus years, hasn't it? This is the Bonds Mill Gatehouse, and it's also a pillbox. It's one of 16 that were built along the Stroudwater Navigation for protection against German invasion during the war. It's also, and easily, the most impressive. I think the windows on either side were added later on, and I believe it will have been machine gun ports like this one here There's also an artillery platform setting at the top as well. This was one of 370 built or planned pillboxes along something called the stop line. And the stop line ran from above Stroud at the River Severn all the way down in an arc around Bristol and Avon to Highbridge below Bristol on the estuary. And they were there to protect from attack the town of Bristol and the port of Avonmouth. In addition to those, there was 18 miles of tank traps and 250 roadblocks all the way along that section. And that sort of protection was built all the way along the British coastline, just in case the Germans came in. Built in 1940, the gatehouse was part of a nationwide network of linear defences to prepare for a German land and air attack on Britain from the southeast. The gun emplacement on the roof was almost certainly intended as an anti-aircraft weapon. The height of the tower also enabled gunners to fire over the top of the adjacent buildings. Today, the gatehouse accommodates the Cotswold Canal Trust Visitor Centre, open on summertime Sundays or any other time when the green flag is flying. We missed them today. There was a fair further down, a canal fair. Can you believe it? We missed it. This is Ryford Bridge. Now either it was extended at some time in the past or significantly repaired, because that's a huge chunk of extra bit of bridge. The Skew Railway Bridge was designed by the renowned civil engineer and architect Isambard Kingdom Brunel during the early 19th century. Brunel is widely regarded as one of the greatest engineers in British history, known for his innovative designs and contributions to the development of the railway system. Constructed between 1833 and 1835 as part of the Great Western Railway line. What makes this bridge unique is its skewed construction. This design was necessary as the railway ran diagonally across the path of the canal. Today these little barges, butties really, are used for excavating the canal back to its normal dimensions. They're all full of soil and diggings, and they're moored up next to original old wharf buildings with some new ones scattered between. Today all repurposed for something else. An absolutely lovely little swing bridge. I think it's Ryford Swing Bridge. This nice little bench has been dedicated to William Eville, 1932 to 1989. He is a craftsman and keen cyclist, and he helped to make this swing bridge. It says, "Thank you, Bill." Karen found this. It says here, "In loving memory of William or Bill Eville." He was a dedicated CCT, Cotswold Canal Trust, volunteer and spent many happy days by the canal with his dog Mel. And he helped build that. Nice one, Bill. In lots of places along the Stroudwater Canal, you find the River Frome. It follows a very, very similar course. At the moment, the sluice gates are open, letting the water out. It's running quite quick too. In this stunning location, the Ryford double lock still has the rather beautiful lockkeeper's cottage still standing beside it. Ryford double lock is one of the iconic structures along the Stroudwater Navigation. It was constructed in 1779 and was designed by Anthony Keck, who worked in King Stanley and is credited for designing some 50 country houses in the southwest of England. Early canals placed locks wherever there was a contour change in the landscape so that the canal channel could be built as easily as possible, and the spacing between the locks varied greatly. It was cheaper to build double locks with shared gates, particularly where there was a significant change in land levels, such as here. The drop looks quite significant, probably some 8 or 9 feet per lock. As you can see here, there are still some of the old grooves worn in by the ropes, pulled by the horses.
Well, that's end of part 1.
End of part 1. Next week,
Yeah.
east of here, we're looking at something called Wall Bridge. And you haven't seen it, you don't know what it is, do you?
No.
It's about the most spectacular part of the canal. It's the most incredible piece of architecture. It's unique on the canal network, and it's well worth you coming back and having a good look to see what that is. Here's a glimpse. Well, it wasn't Wallbridge. This is Capel's Mill. You could have a... You want... Go on then.
I'm intrigued by what that is.
Should we live there? It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Well, let's find it out next week. I don't think it's quite habitable.
No.
It's a bit way off for that. Anyway, that's for next week. Don't miss out. Tune in to next week. Thank you very much. Let's go. Oh, me first. What do we want them to do meanwhile?
Subscribe to our channel.
Please subscribe to our channel and press the like button. And by the way, when you hit subscribe, if you hit the little bell notification, it'll ping you and let you know when we're putting up a new video, won't it?
It will.
Fantastic. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.